I'm Anil Kumar, and in this video we will learn how to sketch graph of y equals to a x minus p whole square plus q. Now that is the vertex form of a quadratic equation. Let me write down. This is my vertex form. Vertex form helps us to understand the transformation and graph the function. Now from this equation, what information do you get? So let us list all the information which we get from such an equation that is going to help us to sketch the graph. So from this we can find the vertex. Vertex is at the point PQ. The value of A gives us the stretch factor. Before going further, vertex gives you PQ and the P value is the axis. So the axis of symmetry is x equals to P, the x value of the vertex. A defines the vertical stretch or compression. So A is vertical stretch or compression, okay? Q is vertical translation, up or down, right? Translation, depending on whether it is positive or negative. P is horizontal translation. Correct? So these are the basic characteristics which we get from the graph itself. A, as you know, also gives you the direction of opening. So A, if it is positive or negative, will also give direction to open. So these are the characteristics which we get from the equation. So let me take a couple of equations and then we will see how to sketch them. To start with, let me write down, let us say y equals to A. Let me write down A as 2. That's a vertical stretch, x minus 1 whole square. And we are opening upwards. I'll take q downwards. Let's say minus 3. Okay. Let this be my equation. Now if that is the equation, then what are the characteristics? So we'll go with these characteristics which we spelled out earlier. So from here we can say what is the vertex. So in this case, vertex is going to be at 1 minus 3. Axis will be at x value of 1, right? X equals to 1. Vertical stretch by a factor of 2. So it is vertical stretch. Since it is more than 1, vertical stretch by 2. That is times 2. Okay? And these two terms are giving you translation, horizontal and vertical. So we can say 3 down, we'll write in short, 3 down and 1. This is positive, right? Let me write DOWN and 1 right. So that becomes the translation and it opens up. So these are the characteristics which we can straight away write from the given equation. So based on this, let us now sketch it. So let's make a rough sketch here. Now this is my y-axis. We know it is a parabola which has been translated 1 unit to the right and 3 units down. Let's say that's the scale for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now in this case, first you have to start with the vertex itself. Vertex is at 1 minus 3. So 1 minus 3 means that's the vertex for you. Okay. 1, 2, 3 down, 1 to the right. Now the steps here are given by A. So let me add that's very important step here, which is steps. Steps are A times 1, 3, 5, 7. A is 2 in this case. So it is 2 times 1, 3, 5, 7 and so on. Correct? So 2 times 1 is 2. So the first step is of 2 units. If I move right 1 unit, I have to go 2 up, so I'll reach at -1, right? Next step is of 2 times 3 is 6 units. So next time when I move 1 unit to the right, I have to go 6 up. 2 times 3. So from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So that is at the value of 5, correct? Now axis is the y equals to 1. So the axis for us is, let me draw the axis in a different color, is going through the vertex. That's the axis. And all of the points which we just plotted will be symmetrical. So this point will be here, right? That is symmetrically placed, correct? This is 3 units here, 2, and then this. So that is here, this will be. Joining these points, we get our parabola, right? So always when you join, make sure this is not pointed. So we are making it like this. Do you see that? Kind of like this. So that becomes the graph for us. So this graph has axis of symmetry at x equals to 1, vertex at 1, minus 3. You can always write this point as minus 3, okay? And it opens upwards with steps of 2, 6, 10, 14. So it is vertically stretched. It looks narrower than the normal graph y equals to x square, right? So I hope this is absolutely clear. Now let us take another example, and let me write down the equation this time as y equals to negative half x plus, instead of moving right, we'll move left this time, x plus, let's say 2 whole square, and we'll move upwards, let's say 3. Okay, let this be the graph to be plotted. So since it is opening downwards, we need more space downwards. So I'll start with x is slightly above, correct? Now for this, I'd like you to help me in writing the characteristics. So let's begin with the vertex. Where is the vertex? V. The vertex will be at what makes this term 0? Minus 2, right? So it is minus 2 and this value of 3. If this term is 0, y value will be 3. That's how you get it, right? So clearly, x is at x equals to minus 2. So x equals to minus 2 is the axis. Now, as far as the stretch and compressions are concerned, in this particular case, since a is minus half, minus indicates what? Minus indicates a reflection on x-axis. That is because of this negative, okay? And half indicates vertically compressed by half. So the values, it will seem as if the graph becomes wider. That one was narrower because it was stretched, pulled upwards, right? Vertically compressed, right? And translations are 2 units left, 3 units up. So it is, you can write 2 left, 3 up. So that is the translation. So these are the transformations which takes place to the graph of y equals to x square. And the last is steps, which will help us to sketch the graph. Steps are minus half times 1357. Okay, so these are the steps for us. Based on this, I'd like you to pause the video, sketch the graph, and then check with my solution. We should always begin from vertex, which is minus 2, 3, right? So let's say this is the scale along the x-axis. This is on the y-axis. I'm taking slightly wider, right? Because I have to mark half, 3.5, things like that. So you can always change your scale. Okay. Vertex is minus 2, 3. It really means move 2 units to the left and 3 up. 1, 2, 3. So that becomes the vertex for us, minus 2, 3. These steps are half of 1, which is minus half. That means if I move, so this is also my axis. Let me draw axis here, which goes through minus 2. So let me write this point here. Okay, minus 2, 3. So if I move 1 unit to the right, I have to move half down. So 1 unit to the right, half down will be here. and from symmetry I can get the other point. Next unit right, I have to move 1.5 down. So from here, half and 1, so that's my next point, correct? And from symmetry I can get it here. Okay, so this I'm using symmetry, axis of symmetry. And then 2.5 down, so next unit, 1, 2.5, so we get here. And from symmetry, that's the next point. So we can continue like this, then 3.5. Okay, so 1 unit, we are already at half, so half is 1, that is half, and 3, 1, 2, 3, so that's the next point. So we get here, so these are our points. Connecting these points with a curve here, like a parabola, right, we can make a graph. Okay, so that is how you could sketch the graph of your parabola. So that's how you could do it. You should definitely label, right? So this is 3, well, that is 2, this is origin. Likewise, this is let's say -1, here we have 1, and this is -1, -2, kind of. Okay, so that's how you get your parabola. So I hope this helps you to understand how to sketch a parabola when it is given in the vertex form. Now here is a question for you. You need to sketch graph of y equals to let's say half of x minus 2 whole square, and let it be translated downwards by, let's say, 4 units. Let's say this is your question 1, and then also try y equals to 3 times x plus 1 whole square plus 1. Okay, so you can use these two as examples to practice. I'm Anil Kumar, and I hope that helps. Thank you, and all the best.